Good morning, YouTube. Week 2 of a bonus episode on Wednesday. Today is July 21st, 2021, and we're doing a bonus episode. And in this bonus episode, we are taking all of this dirty scrap wood that I have, going to stack it, cut it down, make it into a nice wooden sandwich, glue it up, and we're going to try to make a bowl out of it. Something simple. We used to do this really early on in the channel when I didn't know what I was doing. Still don't know what I'm doing, but I thought this would be a fun project just for a bonus episode on a Wednesday. So what you saw in the beginning of the video, obviously all this scrap wood, how to cut it down into nice little squares to make some kind of formation of a bowl plank. So different variety of woods. I have no idea what a lot of this is. A lot of this is fence post, pine, and some other scrap wood that I had in the corner just stacked up in a nice, neat little way. I'm going to use Gorilla Glue on this project because I have a bunch of it in the garage, so why not? And it's good stuff if you've never used Gorilla Glue. So, haven't done a glue up in a long time. First thing you gotta do, glue everything up. And don't be stingy with your glue. I'm never stingy with the glue. I learned early on when I first started getting into woodworking, the more glue you use, at least in my opinion, the better off everything is going to adhere together. So, got everything all nice and glued up, and you can see some of these pieces have been glued up from previous projects that I've used. And you'll see a little bit later on in the project the variety of the wood and how it looks. This isn't the prettiest bowl, as you can tell by the thumbnail. This is not going to be the prettiest, but these are fun projects to do, and you know, it's better than just throwing all this stuff away. So here's the glue up a little bit later. You can see all the glue all over the place, and some people might say, oh, this is a waste, and I'm like, no, in my opinion, you need a lot of glue because you want this stuff to stick together, because there's nothing worse than one of these things coming unhinged and hitting you in the face while you're turning. So got everything glued up. About 4 days later, it's midnight. I actually did this project the same day I'm posting it. So it's midnight, I'm in the garage, everything's glued up. Time to take everything out of the grips, and because obviously you have to do that before you turn it down. So got that all done, taken care of, getting everything off, and everything's glued up to my liking. I'm thinking, okay, pretty nice little glue up here. Looks absolutely messy, absolutely dirty, and I'm going, okay, it's midnight. What better way than to just get everything screwed in with the faceplate here. Gonna get that in there. Boom, there it is. By the way, it's like 3:30 in the morning when I'm doing this commentary, so I'm a little tired, and I'm gonna be very sleepy at work today. But getting the faceplate all screwed on, nice and neat like, and gonna throw that on the lathe here. Boom, there it is. See all that nice little glue already glued up. And I had to do this with the garage door closed because I'm trying not to wake up the neighbors. I'm pretty sure they were not happy about all the noise I was making in the garage, but the good news is nobody knocked on the garage, so that's always a plus when your neighbors aren't telling you to be quiet in the middle of the night. But anyway, so once we got everything onto the lathe, now we're just trying to take our delicate, small, gentle strokes, because you don't want to get too aggressive with it because everything is not even, and I have had it happen in the past where something will fly off and chip and hit me in the face, and I was really trying to avoid that. So took nice gentle strokes with the bowl gouge and came back and hit it with my large round carbide tool. And I learned early on when I was starting to do this part of the process, some of the bowl is this soft pine and some of this is some very hard wood. So that was probably the most annoying part of this entire video, or in the entire project, was going between hard, soft, and medium type of woods, because you could really feel it on the chisel. Some part, melted like butter, whereas other parts was like trying to wood turn concrete. It was just, really painful to, not painful, but it was really difficult to kind of gouge down into the shape that you were trying to get to. So just going for a simple wooden pot type of construction on this one, and now we're just turning down the mortise. This part went relatively easy, didn't have a lot of issue with it. Just taking the parting tool, getting in there, getting everything nice and rounded out, coming back, hitting it with the smaller carbide tools. Don't want to make it too large, because my fear was, since this is scrap wood, when I reverse it in the chuck, because I've had this happen as well, when I'm twisting it to tighten it, I've had portions of wood just break and fracture, so I was really concerned about that. And I initially thought that's what was going to happen, was I was going to tighten it down once I reversed it on the chuck, and it would just break and we'd have to start all over again. But luckily that didn't happen. For a project that's just basically scrap and a bonus for the week, this actually went fairly well once we got this part kind of shaped into the way we want it. It's kind of like an oblong pot, not like a straightforward pot with a lot of sides to it. Just kind of like a weird, I don't even know how to describe that shape. So this is the part where I had probably the most difficulty, because once I started to work through the layers of the gouging portion of it, I had a lot of soft woods, medium woods, and hardwoods, and it was difficult because you either go from an inner portion of the bowl and you work your way out, or an outer portion on the inner portion of the bowl. What I'm trying to say, from between different layers, you get different feel on the chisel, and as you're coming out while you're gouging, you'll feel it in the chisel, which is kind of a pain, because depending on the type of wood depends on your aggressiveness of how you're going about your gouging process. So long story short, it was kind of difficult, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So this is a little bit different angle. I used a lot of the square carbide tool because I found gouging out the middle and then coming back and just hitting it with the corner of the square carbide tool was a lot easier than just going about the regular use of the bowl gouge or one of the round carbide tools. And if you've ever done a mixed bowl like that, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So once we got that all kind of nice and neat, now we're just cleaning up the edges a little bit. And judging by the way the bowl looks at this point, I can kind of tell it's not going to be the prettiest bowl, but it's just a nice little fun little project. And I don't like throwing away all this wood. And I'll probably, even if I don't get through all this wood, because I'm actually moving out of the house in about 10 days, I'm not going to get through all of that scrap wood. I'm going to take it with me. So here it is. We got everything kind of gouged down the way we want to. Nice depth on it. Nice even lip on the top layer of it. And here's all this, chips and shavings and everything. And it's a lot of dust in the air, so good thing I had my respirator on. So went ahead and hit it with sandpaper. We went from about 80 grit all the way up to 320. Didn't take it all the way up to 1500 like we do with epoxy. This was just a simple wood bowl. Nothing too fancy here. There's a good picture of my shoulder right there. Boom. So once we got everything nice and sanded, nice and even, then we're just going to come back, hit it with that wood wax that I like to use. And it gives it a nice little pop, makes it look a lot better. Once you kind of hydrate the wood with the wood wax, it kind of looks a little bit better. Still looks kind of junky, but it's not too bad. I mean, if you go back and watch some of my earlier videos when I used to do these, this looks a lot better than most of the stuff I made there. So skill level has definitely improved since those early days. So now we're just getting everything nice and polished, and we're nearly done and completed. And for the most part, it didn't turn out too bad. Just had a lot of difficulty on the chisels between gouging the different, types of wood that were on there. But overall, really happy with it. Not bad for just a scrap project. And if you made it to this part of the video, not going to have a bonus episode every Wednesday, but since I had the time, I'm trying to do these projects, I thought, nice fun little project for midweek. So hope you guys are liking the videos. This project, fairly simple, nothing too exotic, not as cool as epoxy, but it's still fun to do these complete wood bowls. So here it is, final outcome of this particular project. Kind of ugly, but not too bad. So hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Good early morning. Today is Wednesday, July 21st, 2021. Bonus episode. Second week in a row we're doing a bonus episode. So here is the project, all completed. Absolute nightmare. Problem with these woods, I'm sure I went over it in the commentary, they're just all layered. So when you're going through with the chisels, some are hard, some are soft, some are medium. Overall, pain in the ass to kind of gouge out. But it's not the prettiest. This is a ugly bowl, but just a nice little bonus project for Wednesday, July 21st, 2021. So trying to get rid of all the scrap wood. I'm moving out of my house pretty soon. I'll be doing 2 weeks of work stuff, and I won't be in the garage. So I'm trying to get rid of this. It's literally almost 2:15 in the morning. It's 2:10ish, and here we are, complete, done. I'm sure I've woken up my neighbors, unfortunately, but everything is looking good. No knocks on the garage, so that's always a good thing. So hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the year. We'll see if we get there. I don't think we will, but yeah, it's always good to It's always good to have a goal. Anyway, so I'll see you guys in the next project. All right, peace.